Well, you asked for it, and here it is. This is my video about the suspension that we did on Baja, our Gladiator. And I gotta tell you right up front, I'm impressed, super impressed with what we've done on here. Now, the lift itself is a Clayton 3.5 inch premium lift kit. So it has Johnny joints instead of the rubber bushings. You might get a little more squeaking out of it, but you might get a little bit more articulation out of it. It does require more maintenance. You got to grease the Johnny joints on a regular basis versus the Overlander Plus, which is a super popular kit, an extremely capable kit, requires less maintenance. So we went with one that is a little bit more maintenance, but it may provide slight benefit to us. But it has been performing fantastic. The shocks, that's the biggie on here. These are the Progressive Suspension 47 series shocks. They're reservoir shocks, and the main key about these is they are self-adjusting. There's no adjustments on them. You bolt them on and they work. Now, in a very oversimplified explanation, a normal shock will have a tube with a piston in it, and that piston has valving on it that controls the dampening and how they work. When you talk about adjustable shocks, you can adjust that dampening and get different firmness or softness out of it depending on your conditions. These, well, they have an extra piece above that piston that's kind of free floating, that based on the frequency of that it's sensing from the terrain, it will automatically adjust the dampening. That gives you a firmer ride in some conditions. It gives you a softer ride in other conditions. Now, let's talk about our experience with them. Well, the very first thing we did, literally a day and a half after bolting these on and not having any road experience with them, we drove from Colorado to Flagstaff for Overland Expo. During that, we're going up through the Grand Junction area, and we were having a crazy crosswind, just crazy crosswind. Now, I'm with my buddy Rich, who's got a very similar Gladiator on 35s, I think, 37s, and same Dirtbox canopy, and I'm watching his just sway back and forth with the wind. He even commented on the radio how steady this Gladiator was. It was tracking super straight. Now, I could feel the wind pushing me. I mean, this is just a giant sailboat in the wind with the canopy on here, so I could feel I was being pushed, but I wasn't getting that body roll that he was. So they were firming up because of that kind of slow roll. They were firming up and preventing that body roll. So that was excellent. Next, we did several days in southeast Utah in a wide variety of terrain, from just graded dirt roads, gravel roads, washboard, to some fairly difficult trail running on Hotel Rock. Again, these things performed great. I'm super, super happy with them. They handled all the different terrain. I wasn't feeling like I was just getting bounced around like I do in our JL with the Fox 2.5s, because you're going to adjust them for something and it may not be perfect for something else. And so without getting out and adjusting them constantly, you're not going to get performance across a wide variety of conditions. You're going to get that condition, then you need to adjust it for that condition. Now you're going to do something else, you need to adjust it for that condition to get the best performance across the board. With these, you bolt them on and they work. Now, that being said, I am not going to stand here, whatever, and tell you that these are the greatest performing shocks in every possible condition. I seriously doubt that. But what they're going to do is provide very, very good performance in a wide variety of terrain. So you may be able to tune a shock for desert running. Very high performance, lots of action, very fast motion, and they're going to perform great there. But that same shock is not going to do good at rock crawling. So again, it may not do the same for whoops or something else. You can build or design or tune shocks to be very, very good, like epic performing shocks in certain conditions, but you take that same setup into a different condition and it's not going to give you top of the line performance. So you're usually picking shocks based on what you mostly do. If you mostly do rock crawling, you're going to set them up one way. If you mostly do desert running, you're going to set them up for something like that. These shocks are going to give you very good performance in all those conditions. Again, maybe not the best in every possible condition, but very, very good performance in a wide variety. Okay, so we've talked about performance, right? They're very good performing shocks in a wide variety of conditions without having to get out and tweak them, tune them, adjust them constantly, all that. What about value, right? Is it a good value proposition? So let's talk about the most popular shocks for a Gladiator. That's probably going to come down to Falcons or like Fox 2.5s. In that case, you're talking about $3,200, give or take a little bit, for a set of shocks. Now, that's pretty expensive, but you're getting really, really good quality shocks. And for that same price, you can go to AccuTune, buy them from them, and have them tuned for the weight of your vehicle, and you're going to get an extremely good performing shock. Again, that's going to be set up for certain types of conditions, and you're going to have to get out and adjust them. If you're on washboard, you're going to adjust them for whoops, you're going to adjust them for rock crawling. Now, what do these run? About $1,800 for the set. Extremely cost competitive. That's $859 a pair. It's pretty crazy in terms of cost. So from a value point of view, I think these are going to be hard to beat simply because that price point is so good. All right, let's talk about who are these for, right? Are these for the hardcore rock crawlers? No, I don't think so. Are they for the hardcore, guys who go bombing through the desert? I don't think so. Who are these for, in my opinion? They're for the average guy. They're for the vast majority of the people out there who want something that they don't have to mess with. They don't need a degree in physics to figure out how to adjust properly. They want something that they can bolt on and go do the desert. They can go do rock crawling. They can go do whoops. They can go do washboards. They can go do all types of terrains and have a really good experience. So, who are they for? Most people, in my opinion. So, I need more miles on them. I need more testing. I need more variety of conditions. And I will come back and do a long-term review of them. But over the last week or so of just doing them in a very wide variety of terrain, I gotta say, I'm extremely happy with them. Now, there's a story behind these, right? They're not just some new thing that has come onto the market. These shocks were originally developed for use on Harley Davidsons, and those motorcycles would have a very big tendency to get like harmonic vibrations and things in, like rough surfaces, and that's where these shocks came out for, and it solved that problem. People in the Harley Davidson community absolutely love these. So next, they came out with their ATV UTV shocks. Again, a group of people who don't want to mess with their stuff. They just want something that's very good performing in a variety of conditions, and they became very popular in that market. So now they're available for Jeeps and probably other vehicles in the near future. So you got a cool story there, right? You got this history of them being developed over years on different platforms, finally making it to the Jeep market, where I think you have a winner here. And like I said, are they going to be for everybody? No. But are they going to be for the vast majority of people who want something that performs well? Absolutely. Just check them out at progressivesuspension.com. Tell them I sent you over there, and watch for more videos from us using these. And let me answer the one question I think some people are going to ask. Would I do it again? not only would I make this same decision again, I'm gonna put these on our JL. That's how happy I am with them. I'm gonna take the shocks that we have on our JL, I'm gonna replace them with these because I think for what we do and being in such a wide variety of terrain, I think these are gonna do the job quite nicely. They're doing an excellent job on here, and I think they're gonna do a bang up job on our JL. So, would I do it again? Yes, and I'm going to do it again on our other Jeep. So, there's my video about our suspension, super happy with it. Now we did also put on Sumo Springs bump stops on here. I can't tell if I'm hitting. I have not had a hit that felt like I was bottoming out. So either I am hitting the Sumo Springs and they're absolutely doing their job, or I just haven't been on anything rough enough to actually tell. Hopefully some video that I've done recently and I haven't looked at will actually show if I'm hitting those bump stops, and we'll see about that. But I do recommend them. They are a great product as well, and that completes our build of Baja. All right, it's gonna start raining any second, so I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be safe out there, and we'll see you on the trail. Well, crap. Why do I always do this to myself? Try and get a good shot. I end up freaking 4.5 feet off the ground. Oh my God.